Alright, here's a quick tutorial on how to use these buttons. So this is one of the smaller ones. I have pans here too. So this is a half pan. And let's find the right color. And these are a quarter pan, so they're half of a half pan, right? All of these work the same. For the buttons, all you do is wet watercolor brush, one of these nice soft pointed ones. Get it wet so it has a drip of water. See that? And then let's go for gold. Let's just drip it right there on the water, on the button. Hopefully you can see that. Let's try this. So I have the water on there, see it? I let it sit there for a little bit. 30 seconds should be long enough. It depends on the pigment, how concentrated it is, how long it takes it to soften, but it's usually around 30 seconds. Now, you can see now that when I touch it, see how soft it is? It's activated. But my brush is soaking wet, right? So when I brush it on my rock, it's going to release a lot of water. So I just blot it gently on a paper towel. Some people use towels, like legitimate watercolor artists have towels that they use. I like using paper towels, although it's way more wasteful, I'm sure. So then, now that my paintbrush doesn't have a ton of water on it, it just soaks the paint up. You can see it in the brush. So then it's activated, it's ready to go, and then you just come to your rock with your base coat already on it if this is the method that you're using it for. And then you just gently brush it on. And the video, you really can't get these paints. You can record them all day long. You can take pictures of them all day long. And it really doesn't do them justice. Anybody who's used them will tell you, any metallic watercolors, I'm not talking about mine, any metallic watercolors will tell you that in person they're astounding. And then when you put resin on them or a gloss coat on them, they look fabulous. It just pops that pigment right out. So that's how you use it. So quick review, because I'm a teacher, right? Quick review. I got a little drop of water on my paintbrush. They do say use distilled water if you want to maintain your paint life longer. And then you just put it right on the button, just like that. Give it a few seconds, and you can see the color kind of change just a tiny bit. And then I just tap it with my brush and move the water droplet around, and you can see, I can see, I hope you can see the shimmer move around. That means that the pigments are releasing in the binder, and it's becoming paint. It's activating the dry paint. So now I have a soaked brush with water and paint. I'm going to blot gently. You don't want to rough up your brush hairs, regardless of how expensive or inexpensive your brushes are, right? Especially now, it's so hard to get stuff. And then once your brush doesn't have as much water in it, soaks up the paint, and then just take it to your rock wherever you're going to put it. Now some pigments will require a few more, and it's transferring. Some pigments will require a few more layers. You can also blend the colors together if you wish. This can become a pink gold. But don't brush it too much or it'll turn to mud and it'll go away. The color will mud itself together. But that's how you use them. Same as with the pans. They're dry to the touch, right? You just take water. Same method. Maybe a little bit more water, right? Maybe 2 drops or 3 drops, depending on how much of the paint you're going to use. You can see how it's starting to shimmer already. The red is very sensitive. The red pigments are very sensitive. They take longer to cure. But I'll tell you what, this color is insane. So it's just one of the most insane colors I've made. And that's all it takes, really. That's legitimately as easy as it is. Base coat your rocks with a black chalk paint to get the full pop of the pigment. Or if you're using them on any other rocks, I've used them on white background. I've used them, it just depends on how you're going to use them. I'll post some more pictures. And I know Jane and Jewel and a few other people have used them, and not just on black background. So they do pop best on black, but the uses are infinite. I used them with colored watercolor pencils over Christmas, and it turned out really awesome. So that's all there is to that. If you have any other questions, let me know. I am going to experiment with Liquitex gloss instead of resin. This stuff, I'm not really that great at this, so excuse me. This stuff that we do like to use brush on instead of spray on. So I am going to experiment with that for a couple of people who had questions about that, because I've only used resin since it's winter time and the temperatures are all over the place and it's hard to dry stuff right now. So but yeah, that's it, and let me know if you have any other questions. Thanks.